The final weekend of the summer. Hope you're enjoying it wherever you are as we are off and running on EA Sports. And this opening dynamic kickoff not going to be returned. It'll come out to the 30-yard line. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Smith in motion right. Now they show jet sweep, but instead a run up the middle here. And this will be a Vikings first down as he's got this up to the 40-yard line.
Good job there. Pretty simple. The hole was created. Runner just darted right through.
Yeah, that's the kind of play teams are looking for to have some success early in a ball game. If you're an offensive play caller, you mark that run down. Make sure you keep coming back to it throughout the game until they stop it.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. Absolutely no trouble moving the ball on the ground on the first 2 plays from scrimmage.
Absolutely. You know what I really like? Same guy carrying the ball in both plays, and what drives me crazy is when a back has a nice run, he taps his helmet to go out of the game. I would want the ball again and again and again because you've established really nice momentum, and now you're seeing the field really well.
You look at this Niner defense.
They're a top 5 unit right now against the pass in the league. In fact, they sit at number 5.
And, hey, they were stingy in the opener. Didn't allow much of anything at all through the air. So now they come into week 2 saying, hey, let's see if we can do even better. Let's go ahead and get to that number 1 spot.
And some solid footwork there as he'll take this down to about the 38. It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the first.
How about that there? No frills, no additives, right? Nothing crazy. Just find a way to pick up the first down. A nice run right there.
Now here's a little touch pass as they tap it quickly to their receiver. Down at the 35, it'll be 2nd down. Second and 7. They'll try and run this one right up the gut. 3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on 3rd down? This defense for the Niners, terrific last week in the season-opening victory.
And no matter what's done throughout a ball game, it always comes back to blocking and tackling. That's the essence of football. But I think it's hard for people to understand just how difficult it is to tackle, especially open field. Very few missed tackles on tape that I saw last game. This team does a nice job of getting their opponents on the ground.
Well, it's caught on the right side of Smith. And he won't get close. Only a yard, 4th and 3.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game. But it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go and make the tackle right away.
And he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. The Vikings unable to convert here on 4th. And on the opening drive of the afternoon, the defense forces a turnover on downs.
Here we go.
They begin on the ground with Guerendo. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
Well, they always talk about playing great team defense, and that was an excellent example right there. Everyone on assignment, no one in the wrong spot, everyone filling their gaps.
Counting down toward the midway point in quarter 1. Another try for Guerendo. And he'll get it out to midfield. They'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down. The Niners are 1-0 on the year following the win in Week 1. And they've gotten a pretty good deal from the schedule makers as well. Home dates in Weeks 1 and 2.
And I would believe that they would need to take advantage of that, partner, because as you can imagine, the road dates will pile up later this season. So this is a great opportunity for them to put some early distance on the rest of the division and create a little bit of a cushion for them for later in the year.
He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Good yardage there on first down. Exactly what you want. Get yourself set up to keep making first downs, keep the clock running. And if they're smart, you're starting to milk the clock. No hurry before you run your second down play.
And this is dropped. Oh, boy. A chance for a big play early, but he could not secure it. Yeah, look at this defense for the Vikings. They're going to be tough to throw on, no doubt. Currently ranked 3rd in the NFL against the pass.
And I'm struggling a little bit trying to really categorize this crew. They're top 10 in the league against the pass, but the bottom half of the league in sacking the quarterback. That doesn't make sense. Imagine if this group ever put pressure on the QB, it'd easily move into the top 5. Nothing open downfield, and he had to get that one out in a hurry because he just knew he was about to take a big shot. Probably couldn't get his legs into the throw. It became an all-arm throw trying to check it down to his running back. Incomplete.
And he's going to get the first down as he covers up after a pretty good shot there.
Well, this offense will definitely utilize him as a weapon out of the backfield because he was close to 100 yards receiving a week ago. So they will try to get him the football in space as they did right there.
So the 4th down conversion has him inside the 40 now, 1st and 10. The leading rusher in NCAA history from Youngstown State. Here's Jaleel McLaughlin. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
2nd and 6. Trying for Ayuk, but it's intercepted. And a terrific return as he takes this thing all the way down near the 20-yard line. I tell you what, credit is due there on them preventing the touchdown after that interception.
How about him chasing him down and not giving up the pick six? Because what happens a lot of the time is when you see the interception, you just kind of hang your head a little bit and you momentarily pause because you're frustrated. He shook that off and gave great chase and got it done.
Still a great return and very good field position. Oh, they're going to run a little pop pass here. Oh, and that is well read defensively. A great job of setting the edge, and that little touch pass is going to turn into a loss. We're scoreless after one. The Vikings with the football here to begin the second quarter as they've got it with a 3rd down coming up. Going to need a crafty play call here. 14 yards is what they need to try to convert this thing. Smith will come in motion right. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He's got his target. That's complete. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. So 1st and goal from the 9-yard line. Young now. Quick hitter here. It's complete. 3 yards is the gain that time. 2nd and goal.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line. But once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
On play action, Young. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. A great play there. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Vikings post the first points of the ball game as they take the lead here in this 2nd quarter. No, he missed the PAT. No good on the extra point, so a letdown there. And this will stay a 6-point ball game. Minnesota's kick team ready, and the Vikings boom it away. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, wound up leading to a touchdown the other way. How do you approach drive number 2?
Going back to your game plan coming in, everyone has matchups that they like better than others. Where they think they have an advantage, dial up some of those plays. Try and go to those spots and get your offense moving.
2nd and 10. Back to throw. And this one is incomplete.
With a dime look on defense, 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. That's a 3rd down conversion of 24 yards there. Nice play.
Let's go now.
Back to throw again. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Well, the great coach said football is really a simple game. Rush theirs, protect yours. And he's talking about those guys throwing the football. In this situation, the rush won, hitting the quarterback and forcing him into an incompletion.
Here's 2nd and 10.
60 Bobcat, 60 Bobcat. Take over.
They'll look to throw again. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, 3rd down.
And that's one of those plays where it's hard to keep 2 eyes on the football when you know the contact's coming, let alone getting 2 hands around it, hugging it to your body, and absorbing the hit, even for those big tight ends who you would think could absorb that contact.
They had the incomplete pass on 2nd down. Now they need a big play here, 3rd and 10. And this pass broken up. The contact well-timed there, and now 4th down.
I like what they tried to do there, tried to hit him with something quick, get the ball in his hands, and hope he could make some yards after the catch and pick up a 1st down. Weren't able to do so on that play.
Go.
They'll try and throw for it here. Oh, and his early struggles continue. Here's another one intercepted. And the Vikings will take over possession here up at the 44.
So rare to see any quarterback toss back-to-back interceptions in the NFL, regardless of status or experience. Whether it's him personally or just the offensive game plan, I think this defense is reading something out there, and they're holding the upper hand.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. They'll start in excellent field position following the... And it's a fumble. Oh, and one of the linemen on the other side He's got it, and they'll set up shop in enemy territory at the 45-yard line. And they had just picked it off to get the football. They fumble it right back. I looked over to both sidelines. A lot of scrambling to find the helmets.
Yeah, you can almost, you know both sides are screaming sudden change. Because when sudden change happens, that's a defensive call to get back out on the field. There's been a fumble, so an interception, some type of a turnover. You've got to get back out there and play. These guys just want to get to the bench and gather themselves and regroup a little bit. Let's see if these offenses can settle in and start taking care of the ball a little bit better.
Now a 2nd and 10.
Let's go.
They'll try the middle with Garindo. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up. Again, it's Garindo. And he's going to be taken down at the 39, clearly short of the first by a few yards. This defense not budging, back-to-back carries of just 2 yards. Too long for a field goal, too short to punt. That in-between range, and they'll go for it on 4th down. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Niners go for it, but it doesn't work out. And the Vikings defense is going to get the football back. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And last drive, obviously not what you're looking for. You've got the lead. You've got to protect the football.
So in other words, someone got lucky because they've been moving the ball really well and wearing them down. In this case, though, giving up the football doesn't make them very happy. They can't wait to get back out there and atone for it.
Yeah, try to atone for it here on this drive.
Defensively, he has been a presence in their backfield in the first half. Had a sack earlier, and now he comes up with a big tackle for a loss.
The Vikings on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. Now Young. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
I think there he had to come off of his primary receiver in a big way, just trying to get it to a secondary guy, unable to get that play completed.
Checked down, but didn't even have enough time to do that. Incomplete.
Here we go. Go.
Now Young on 4th down. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. So certainly an interesting call there to go for it. And the Niners take over in terrific field position.
Ready. Roll. Ready.
Here's Garindo on 1st down. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. Here's a 2nd and 8. A handoff running right, Garindo. They're able to push forward for about 4 down to the 37.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
Smash. Check. Panther.
On 3rd down, it's Garindo. And he won't be close to a 1st down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. This would have been a 54-yard boot had they tried a field goal, but they will not try a field goal. They're going for it. They'll set up to throw. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he'll cross over out of bounds right at the 25. A big pickup of 12 yards on 4th down to keep this drive from stalling. Both sides were holding their breath there on that 4th down play, and the offense can breathe a sigh of relief.
And both knew exactly where the first down markers were. You know the defense is trying to guard those sticks and try and keep people in front. But somehow, some way, those guys found a way to pick it up.
And just good downhill running there as he'll take this to the 15-yard line. They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another first down. It will. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. That's complete to Pearsall. Give him a gain of 5 on the completion, and it's second down. He'll look to throw. And he hauls it in the end zone. Touchdown, San Francisco. Elijah Higgins. His first touchdown of the new season. And the 49ers have tied the ball game with a chance to take the lead. And he is a reliable target. They like to get him involved. They got him involved there for the score.
And they should. He's a very good player. Remember, they can use him in certain positions, so many different spots, and he usually comes through for them.
And unable to connect. They don't get the two-point conversion here. So back even at 6 apiece as the kick's away. And not willing to risk a return. This ball's going to come out to the 30-yard line. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And with still more than a minute to go in the half, time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity.
There he goes, right side. Touchdown, Vikings. A great effort there. 70 yards. And the Vikings have taken the lead. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him. I don't know about you, but I can't wait for a few years of two-point tries and see what the data tells us. Because a lot of teams want to throw the ball in this situation. This time, unsuccessfully. I just wonder if maybe running the ball might be the way to go.
With it moved up from the 3 to the 2, you would think maybe a few more attempts at running.
I think stats over time may bear out that running the ball will at least be the equal of throwing it in that situation.
The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. And looking at this situation, Charles, you got more than a minute. You've got all 3 timeouts. Probably no need to play this safe.
So what you're saying is that we're doing a little bit of a mind meld here, aren't we? Because I'm thinking along the same lines as you. This amount of time, don't be compelled to play it too safe. This is a chance to get points on the board. Press it a little bit.
Especially since a touchdown here gets you the lead.
Let's go.
They'll look to throw here on first down. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half.
And they'll use him out of the backfield and sometimes quite a bit. They're just trying to get him touches any way they can. 4 catches a week ago, there's another one right there.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down.
Come on. Set. Set, go.
He'll look to throw. Flush to his right. Room here to run. And I think the ball's out. But this will fortunately wind up out of bounds. Opted to run for it. The decision a good one. Picking up the first, getting 14 yards on the scramble. Can almost see inside his face mask there, the look of relief. He coughed it up, but it goes out of bounds. They keep it.
Someone came around the lucky horseshoe, aren't they? If I were him, I'd go out and play the lottery after that one. A very fortunate man.
And they're operating in plus territory here. They're thinking points. Definitely don't want to lose the football at this juncture. Now San Francisco going to call their second timeout as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. Now we're 1st and 10 at the 11.
Set up.
He'll drop to throw. And it's complete. In the end zone. Touchdown 49ers. Isaac Guerrero. An 11-yard touchdown.
And the Niners are an extra point away from moving out in front in the final minute of the half.
And now this is right in Kyle Shanahan's wheelhouse. He'll go for 2 here. They'll try and run it here. And he will not make it into the end zone. But a flag down here, and I think they're going to get another shot at this. So they lost yardage, and they declined the penalty. There's no logical reasoning to do that.
I'm trying to go through this little Rolodex in this small brain of mine, and I'm coming up with nothing, partner. I've got zip on that one. Take the yardage, right? Take the penalty. I don't get it.
I don't get it either.
And no chance to see a return on the dynamic kickoff. They'll move this out to the 30-yard line.
Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go before halftime. Just over 30 seconds to go in the half. They've got it 1st and 10. Young to throw it.
Well, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted.
And what a return as he brings this one all the way back to the 25-yard line.
You can easily see the logic. It's a tie game. They just wanted to press it a little bit right before the half, hoping to get one more score.
Yeah, easy to second-guess the result, but now you have to think after that interception, just a field goal, and they're behind at the break.
Yeah, I think at the half, the head coach just says, look, that's on me. I wanted to press it, but it's because I believe in you guys.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive.
And this one incomplete. Threw it down at the feet of his receiver.
They started this drive backed up against the wall by the turnover, but I love their fight. Planted their feet and forced the incompletion on 1st down.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25.
Here we go, set. Ready.
They're going to look to throw. Open man is Higgins. And he is out of bounds right around the 10-yard line. 15 yards on the play, 1st down.
Well, with the problems they've had getting rid of the football in this 1st half, they've got to be over the moon that this is still a tie ball game. So here's where a quarterback has to move the turnovers to the back of his mind and focus on the present. And that's a good throw there to pick up a 1st down.
Now the Niners going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this 1st half of action.
So not quite a 1st and goal. It's 1st and 10 from the 10.
Now back to throw. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
It's always tough trying to keep your guy upright when he's trying to throw the football. And when you're dealing with those big, bad guys on the defensive front, it's even tougher. And this time, those guys on the opposite side won the battle, getting to the quarterback and knocking him into an incompletion.
Again, he'll drop to throw.
A throw left side for Pearsall is complete.
And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, San Francisco.
Ricky Pearsall.
In the final seconds of the 1st half.
And the 49ers have taken the lead here in the final stages of this 1st half.
Another 2-point conversion attempt coming for the Niners.
18 Cardinal, 18 Cardinal.
They're going to try and run, but he is not going to make it into the end zone. They stop him short, so they'll add only 6 as we come up on halftime.
So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. And they'll opt not to return this, but since the ball did hit in the landing zone, this will come out to the 20.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive.
And with 10 seconds left, not really enough time to put something together.
Eluding the pressure right. Looking for his running back, and he's got him. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. So this will be spotted on the midfield logo. It's a 58-yard attempt. Time for a break. We've hit halftime. 2 quarters down, 2 still remain. We step aside. This is the NFL on EA Sports. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the third quarter. It's the 49ers out in front, and they will get the football first as well as we are back and started in the second half.
And no return forthcoming. It'll be a touchback, and the third quarter will start from the 30.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway.
And, Charles, they've got the lead. I would imagine the overall halftime tone was a positive one, but what do you think the talking points were in the locker room?
Well, if there were 3 talking points at the half, partner, all of them were about turnovers because they were pretty loose with the ball. Otherwise, this lead could be even bigger. Now, I don't think that they overly harped on it, but I think they told them, guys, if you want to keep calling those plays that are exciting, you've got to take care of the ball. Otherwise, we may have to dial things back a little bit.
And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. In trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
That is caught, and he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield. Just his second catch of the game so far. This one moves the chains.
Whenever we talk about moving the sticks and controlling the football, there's a great example right there. Those are the third downs you need to convert to win football games. We're in the third quarter of this one, and this is a tight one. In order to maintain pace, keep the ball away from the other team, and put points on the board, those are the plays they need to continue to convert.
A gain of 3, second down.
Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
Here we go, here we go.
Ayuk going to go in motion right. They'll fake it on the jet sweep, and instead a handoff up the middle.
3 yards on the pickup. That's going to set up an interesting 3rd and about 4 to go.
In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down.
Ready.
They'll drop to throw.
Pass to the sideline and pulled in.
And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A very solid gain of 27.
Normally on third down and short yardage, you're thinking of throwing to your tight end. It's just going to be a simple chain mover. But this time they let him roam down the field, and a nice dart picks up the first down and then some.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. Throw left side. McCaffrey's got it.
And the 49ers are going to have a 1st and goal as he'll be taken down at the 7-yard line.
Just picking up yardage in bunches here these last few plays. They have moved right down the field, and just like that, they're going to be set up with a 1st and goal.
On the give, it's Guerrero. And he's brought down right at the 5-yard line. Give him 2 on the play.
The yards may start getting a little tougher to come by down here near the goal line. That's good work defensively there on 1st down, holding them to a short gain.
Handoff here, Guerrero. And he takes it into the end zone across the chalk. Now there is a flag down, but I think that's offsides on the defense.
Yeah, I think that's going to stand, partner.
And now this is right in Kyle Shanahan's wheelhouse. He'll go for 2 here. They'll try and throw for it. And no, it falls incomplete. So the 2-point conversion, no good. So here's Moody back out there now to send this one away. And we will not have a return. They'll bring this to the 30. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And their deficit a little wider than it was at halftime. Does that touchdown a minute ago change the thinking here at all?
I think it does, at least a little bit, because now urgency has to start setting in. You can't go out there and go 3 and out and run the risk of falling behind substantially, but you have to do it without pressing, because pressing, that'll lead you into bigger errors.
Young's incompletion on 1st down leads to a 2nd and 10. Now here's a little touch pass as they tap it quickly to their receiver. And he's brought down at the 34. Call it a gain of 4. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Oh, design run for their wideout. And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. A 3-yard loss. 4th down now.
I see a shake of the head as he gets up, and you've got to imagine he's thinking, guys, you got to help me out. He's hoping his team can read his thoughts because he definitely needs some assistance.
And a tough ask here. They're going to go for it on 4th down and 9. They're indeed going for it as they look to throw. Oh, the turnover fest continues. Here's another interception. Oh, he sheds himself free. Before we came up to the booth, last thing he said as we were walking off the field, want to play mistake-free football. Well, that just went out the window there with a pick.
Andy, do you remember what you said to me when we were walking up to the booth after he said that? You're like, oh, fatal last words. Every time we hear that, things tend to fall apart a little bit, and that's what we saw there. Didn't get enough on that throw, and it turned into an intercept.
And across the chalk, into the end zone. It's a 49er touchdown. Isaac Guerrero, his 3rd touchdown of the game and 5th on the year. And the Niners are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Moody good with the extra point, and that will make this a 19-point game. So after the made field goal by Moody, he's back out to kick this one away. And no run back here. That's going to be a touchback, and we'll bring it out to the 30-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand They've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
From the gun, they'll try to run it.
And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
In motion comes the tight end left. Young to throw it. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. So they'll line up losing 5 yards on the play, and that's going to bring up a 4th down.
We'll put that one in the win column for the defense. Trying to contain tight ends in the passing game is so difficult.
And look at this. It's a fake. And this is incomplete. A huge gamble, and it does not pay off. They fake the punt. It doesn't work out, and it'll be a turnover on downs. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
Here we go. Ready?
They'll try and start this drive in the air.
Brought in by Dobbs on the comeback route.
And out of bounds all the way down at the 3. That'll be marked as a 27-yard pickup.
This offensive game plan has just been sensational. I mean, when you think about all the different ways they've gotten their receivers open so far, it's really been impressive. Scheme, design, execution.
Hammering for the goal line. He loses the football.
But it looks like one of the DBs has it.
Partner, you know how often we hear about the red zone, right? From the 20-yard line going in, that scoring zone, getting points on the board. A lot of teams call from the 10-yard line in the green zone. That's your money zone. He fumbles the ball inside the money zone. You have one job, take care of the ball. That didn't happen.
That is into the hands of Hockenson downfield.
And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. That one good for 37 yards.
Despite writing it down on my notes, I never give enough credit to the offensive line, and we have to here. The protection, that's what made this play a success. Quarterback had to wait for his crossing route to develop, and that takes a little bit of extra time. Excellent job by the big fellas up front.
Oh, he was hit as he threw it there, and that one winds up incomplete.
When defenses get to the quarterback that quickly, a lot of times it's called a jailbreak. It wasn't quite that fast, but fast enough that he had no time to look downfield and set himself to throw the ball. And as he tried to do that, he was hit, and it forced an incompletion.
And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we've played 3 quarters. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now here in Santa Clara. It's the Vikings in possession of the football, but they need some points. They're trailing here to start the 4th. They'll throw again. Young. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
And they hit him as he throws, as this one's going to go straight down to the turf. Incomplete. The Vikings unable to convert here on 4th. And the 49ers are going to get the football back. The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. Been a very strong performance for them, really, on both sides of the football. The turnover on downs, the most recent example, and now, obviously, they're in a great spot here.
Yeah, if you're over on the bench right now, you're shaking hands with your teammate, you're hugging him, giving him a little dap. Been a big, big performance for them. Now you just don't get careless. Take care of the ball on the way out.
They're still throwing the football here, and obviously the incompletion stops the clock. That's a bad thing.
Feels to me like they're just keeping them honest on defense because you know they're going to stack the line of scrimmage and try and stop any type of a running play. Short little passes may work in exchange of running plays. Keep the clock moving, keep them moving.
I guess you're right. If they can get some first downs, just as good as running the football.
Let's go.
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again.
They'll find Ayuk open right side.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 13 yards there and a Niner first. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
57 yards rushing for him in the ball game now on 14 carries.
Now, I think we can get used to seeing more of that in this fourth quarter, especially if they're having success on the ground like they did there.
Yeah, I think back when we met with the head coach in preseason, and all he talked about was building a bully. And I think it was this situation he was envisioning. Trying to ice a game, plenty of time left, but being able to give the ball to his big runner and pound away and try and finish off a game.
They'll look to throw now on 1st down. And this is incomplete.
Offense was moving it a little bit, had them back on their heels, but they earn a brief pause by forcing the incompletion. That gives them a quick chance to regroup and try and mount a stand before they're backed up even further.
Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Rush coming, and he's taken down. He couldn't get away. He'll wind up losing a dozen yards, a 12-yard loss, and it brings up 3rd.
One thing that I liked about this guy during the draft process was his motor. Of course, I loved his skills, but he plays hard on every down.
And that motor on full display there as he gets his first NFL sack. The Niners on 3rd down. 3 for 7 so far in this game. This will be 3rd and forever. On play action, they'll throw. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up.
Oftentimes when you're losing a game and the team's still throwing with this kind of a lead, you start playing a little more physically. And they took that opportunity right there to be extremely physical and force that incompletion.
And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Niners go for it, but it doesn't work out. And this defense is going to get the football back near midfield, right at the 48. Young will set to throw. Airing it out deep for Smith. And this is caught inside the 5. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota.
Devontae Smith.
52 yards.
And the Vikings have got it back to a 2-score game here in the 4th.
Here's a toss coming right. And he is going to be stopped short of the goal line. Oh, they'll mark him inside the 1. He just couldn't keep churning those extra few inches. And the 2-point attempt is turned aside. And the 49er hands team does its job. The risk reward of the onside kick. When you don't get it, the risk comes out to play. And here they gave up great field position.
And that's the key to everything, because you're trying your best to press advantages when you have them. And field position leads you to that type of play calling. And whether you want to blitz or whether you want to throw the ball deep, those types of things, now they've given up that type of field.
The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack.
Buried by multiple defenders on the drive's first play.
Well, you don't usually get a sack from a nose tackle spot, but we got one there.
No, we don't. And a lot of the times in passing situations, they end up off the field anyway. So how happy was he to work his way back to the quarterback and put him on the ground? He's going to end up with a nickname after something like that, some big jelly or something like that.
It goes as a loss of 6. And now 3rd down.
Now that's a nice play. Got me fired up, partner. But can they do it back-to-back plays? All the training that you go through as a defense for these situations when you have to get the ball back, everything you go through, holding up the runner, raking at the football, getting to the passer, knocking it out of his hands, whatever way, they have to get the ball back.
Now can they stand tall again for a huge 4th quarter stop? And that will be incomplete.
Oh, I like the calmness of how he played the ball here. No panic in his eyes as that throw arrived. Tracked it from the moment it left the quarterback's hand, and that's just where he needed to be to knock it away.
And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on 4th. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need.
And the Vikings are right back in this football game.
2-score game here in the 4th, and that pick, it kind of keeps the door ajar, doesn't it?
It does, and you wonder about their strategy because with a 2-score lead, you would think maybe you're just sitting on it and trying to drain some clock. It's almost like they felt like, hey, we've got a good cushion. We can keep pressing it. It ended up costing them.
Going underneath, he's got Hockenson. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. A good start there on 1st down. They've got to have this drive.
No doubt about it. Down a couple of scores. They have to find a way to put it in the end zone. Chunk plays, explosive plays. That will be the key to this drive.
Escaping the pressure right.
Young is intercepted for the 3rd time this game.
The 20. I know it appeared he was saying, hey, give me the football, I'm open, but I don't know if that's a pass that he should have thrown there.
Well, I don't think we've ever met a wide receiver that doesn't think he is open or is about to be open.
True.
So when you throw your hand up in the air and tell your quarterback, hey, I'm available, he's trusting that you are. In this case, he was not, and it turned into disaster for them.
McLaughlin
fighting for the end zone. He lost the football. It's out.
Oh, and one of the linemen on the other side has got it.
And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, that takeaway, partner, right there, that's a combination of coaching, execution, and absolute belief. Because a lot of guys will look at the scoreboard and go, this thing's pretty well done. But they still thought to themselves, if we could make a play, we give our teammates a chance to win it. And that's exactly what they did.
Out of his end zone, Young. And that will be incomplete. Trying to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
When you're leading in the final quarter, your radar has to be up for any potential deep shots. And probably not the last one they're going to see in this game, not as long as they hold this lead.
They'd like to avoid punting from their own end zone so they could use something here on 3rd down. In motion right is Smith. Young from his end zone on 3rd down. He's got Smith here.
He's got space past the 25. Running free at the 45.
And finally taken down at the 34.
All 3 timeouts plus the 2-minute warning. Here's 1st and 10.
Young now. And he loses the football the 2nd time. And now this is scooped up by the 49ers. And his guys are good. At the 34-yard line. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Back to throw here. Steps away to his left. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a 1st down.
It hasn't been the cleanest game for him, but there was a sign of improvement as he looks towards the next one. Nice bit of scrambling to move the sticks, and even more importantly, he didn't risk adding another interception to his ledger.
The give is to McLaughlin.
And a decent gain there as that takes us to the 2-minute warning. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2.
A give running left now, Garendo.
Touchdown, 49ers!
Isaac Garendo with his 4th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Niners are on their way to a 2-0 start. An extra point try now for Moody.
And that one pushes the lead up to an even 20.
So following the touchdown, here's Moody back out to send it away. And this return going to come to a quick end as he is belted at the end of that one.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway.
Well, this game, it has had no shortage of offense. They've been able to put up a decent amount of points on this side, Charles. They just have not been able to keep pace with the other offense they're going against here.
Yeah, that's a good way of pointing things out because now it's not a total loss because, as you said, they've scored some points, so there's some plays they can build on, moments where the game plan actually worked. But overall, though, they were just out-personnel. They were going up against a team that's playing at an elite level.
And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. Off play action. Marshall. And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete.
The quarterback got away with one there. Looked like he was in line for a pick, but instead, it's knocked harmlessly to the turf.
Back to throw again. A hit as he throws there, incomplete. What we just saw there, that's really been a common theme all afternoon.
A lot of pressure. That forced the errant pass. He's been under duress this entire afternoon. He just had to unload that one. He's fortunate it was just incomplete and not intercepted.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
I think this is what this game's become now. Just go deep, see if we can get something to go our way.
Yeah, not the most creative or most inventive play call there, but not much has worked for them throughout this game. They're almost at a loss about what to dial up.
As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and that will force a turnover on downs. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
Trap 60. Go.
That one looks like he'll throw here. He's going to take a shot right away for the end zone.
Oh, and that is incomplete.
That's some good closing speed there defensively because that looked open for a minute. But that's great work with the ball in the air. Never gave up, converged on his man, and broke the play up.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10.
79 Bronco.
Back to throw. That's going to be brought in by Higgins. And down to the 20 he'll go before heading out of bounds. They call his number again. It's his 6th catch and a 1st down.
Offensively, another big chunk of yardage, Charles, but defensively, they had all this talk about trying to limit explosive plays. They have not been able to do that.
They discussed it all week, but they haven't been able to execute it at all, haven't been able to find a way to slow down this offense. They're seeking answers and not coming up with any.
Pass caught by Pearsall.
And he is out of bounds, getting it down to the 10. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And that'll give him a short yardage situation here for second down.
Trap 60. Ready. And up.
Again, he'll drop to throw. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's third down.
That's an excellent play by the defender. He diagnosed that one, closed quickly, and helped force the incompletion.
They tried the throw on second down, unsuccessful. Now it's 3rd and 1. They'll look to throw again.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And the Niners are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.